Welcome to Austin, Texas. So every year, my sister Alicia and I take a trip together, just the two of us, and this year we decided to explore Austin. We had an amazing time, and one place I really want to highlight in this video is this awesome downtown bookstore that we visited. This place is called BookPeople, which is Texas's largest independent bookstore and has been a staple in Austin's community of books since 1970. A popular feature that is becoming more common in bookstores is a blind date with a book. And this is where bookstores will wrap a few books in paper and write brief descriptions and the genre on them, and then you can choose if you would like to read that book based solely on that description, and you will not know the title or author. I did buy 2 books from the bookstore today, and the first is this one, which is called Once Upon a Broken Heart. This book has been on my to-be-read list for a while, and I just absolutely had to buy it because the cover is so stunning and the spine is so pretty as well. This book is going to look so good on my bookshelf. I am already really excited about it. And then I did also pick up A Blind Date with a Book, and the only things I know about this book are that it's a romance and the brief description, which states that this book likes the 4 horsemen, enemies to lovers, and reads that are so wrong but feel right. This one just sounded very intriguing to me, so I bought it. And then my sister also did pick up some books as well, so this is everything we got. Once Upon a Broken Heart is a young adult fantasy written by the author Stephanie Garber, and the back of the book says, "How far would you go for happily ever after?" Evangeline Fox has always believed in true love and happy endings, until she learns that the love of her life will marry another. Desperate to stop the wedding, Evangeline strikes a deal with the charismatic, immortal Prince of Hearts. But she soon discovers that bargaining with the Prince of Hearts is a dangerous game. He has plans for Evangeline, plans that will either end in the greatest happily ever after or the most exquisite tragedy. I'm back home from Austin, Texas now, and it's actually been a few days since I have been home, but I've been so busy that I haven't even picked up my book again until today. Luna, would you like to say hello? Hi, baby girl. Luna, I was just trying to say hi. You are so cute, and now you're licking my hand. We're just hanging out. Oh, thank you. Thanks, Luna. So I am about 150 pages into this book, Once Upon a Broken Heart. I am really enjoying this story so far. The writing is very poetic and pretty. The whole story feels very whimsical. While reading it, the vibes that I'm getting of this book is a mix between Cinderella and Bridgerton, because there's a lot of princess balls that the main character is going to, and so they dress in those like big fancy dresses like they do in the show Bridgerton. And then it also reminds me of Cinderella because Evangeline, the main character, kind of has a similar story to Cinderella. Her parents died, and now she has to live with her kind of evil stepmother and her stepsister that isn't necessarily mean or evil, but I'm not sure about her yet. I kind of have a feeling that she might betray her, but we'll see. I always look up fan art, especially when I am reading fantasy books, so I always just go to Google. Oh, nope, we're not doing Uber Eats right now, and just type in like Once Upon a Broken Heart fan art so I can see what the characters look like, and it just helps me picture them in my head. So far, this is my favorite fan art of the two main characters. So this is Evangeline and that is Jax. But I just like looking at all of it, especially fantasy fan art, I think is so beautiful, and I just think it's really fun to look at and think of these characters while I'm reading about them. I am currently in a hotel room in Orlando, Florida right now. I'm here on a work trip, but I did just finish this book and I wanted to talk to you guys about it. So I rated this book 4 stars. I loved it. I thought it was adorable and so whimsical and just a really fun, easy to read magical fairy tale. So I think this book is really great, especially if you're wanting to read your first fantasy book, because it's not intimidating. It's not like A Court of Thorns and Roses or From Blood and Ash, where the books themselves are really confusing and each book is anywhere between 500 to 1,000 pages long, 5 to 6 books in the series, whereas this book is 400 pages long, but the text is pretty big. And I would also say that anybody over the age of probably 12 or 13 could read this book and really enjoy it, because it's not a super high stakes, risque, or crazy fantasy book like most adult fantasy books are. So I definitely think that I will be picking up the second book to this series, which is called The Ballad of Never After, and then the third book is called A Curse for True Love, and the third book comes out in September of this year, I believe. The world building and description of characters in this book was just pure magic. I'm also really happy that I got the print of this book and not just having it on my Kindle, because I love how there are different illustrations throughout this book that just made it really fun to flip through the pages and read. Also, I forgot to mention another reason why this book reminded me of Bridgerton is because in this show, Bridgerton, Lady Whistledown, who is anonymous, writes all of those scandalous letters and newspaper prints about the different things that are going on with all of the royalty and like the rich people in the Bridgerton world. And there is someone in this book named Christoph Neitlinger who writes the Daily Rumor, which is a newsletter about all of the rich and famous of this world as well. So that very much reminded me of Bridgerton too. I think something I'm going to start doing with my book reviews now is to close them out. I'm going to give you guys my favorite quote from the book. My favorite quote from this book is on page 162, and it is, "I'd give you the world if I could, the moon, the stars, and all the suns in the universe. Anything for you, my heart." Now that I've finished that book, I've actually already started my next book, which is called Flock by Kate Stewart. And I have this book on my Kindle right now. This book, I am going into it completely blind. All that I know is that it is a steamy romance type book. Apparently, people go berserk over this. Like, they absolutely love it. Apparently, it makes people cry. It totally rips your heart out, the whole series. I mean, people are getting like tattoos of quotes from this book because that is just how obsessed they become with it. But then there's other people online on like Facebook groups and on TikTok and YouTube, whatever, who have said that they thought these books were really boring. So it feels like it's either one way or the other. Like, you're either obsessed with this series or you just couldn't care less about it. So I'm interested to see which side of the coin I am on. But I just started it. I'm on page 32, and so far it's a little bit slow, but I don't dislike it. I can already tell though, I think there's going to be a love triangle in this book, and oh my gosh, I really don't like love triangles. It's probably one of my least favorite tropes to read about, but I am trying to keep an open mind just because so many people have raved over this book, and I'm curious if any of you have read this series. Please let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, because I really want to know what my viewers think too. So that is going to be it for today's video. If you happen to read either of these books, the fantasy book or Flock, please let me know your thoughts of them in the comment section below, because I love when my viewers have also read the same books as me. I think it's so much fun to talk about them. As always, thank you so much for being here and for watching this video. I appreciate you guys so much. I hope that you're having a fabulous day, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.